Hello there, friends and RC family. My name is Alec from High Noon Hobbies, and if you're new to this channel, I very much appreciate you checking it out. Hope you stick around, watch at least this video, see if this content seems worth your while, and consider subscribing so that then I can say to you, if you aren't new here, welcome back to yet another Friday upload on the road to Sand Hollow, once again with T from the SLUT Crawlers group. This time we are not focusing so much on the 3-tier comp format as we did last time. If you're interested in learning more about the style of comp that we ran through last weekend or a few weekends ago at this point, go ahead and check out last Friday's upload and kind of had a more in-depth discussion about that. But this time I want to check out this guy right here. This is T's Class 1 rig, and I want to talk a little bit about it, and I'm not going to do it justice in terms of the technical specifications. If you want to learn more about how this rig is set up in detail from the owner himself, you should check out the last live video that we did, the last Sunday live video. I believe that actually was the Sunday following that Friday upload where we talked about this comp format. T at the end of that live video, about an hour and 26 minutes in, or an hour and like 15 minutes in, he starts talking about this rig in detail. To give you kind of a brief description, this is a TRX4 chassis, obviously. We obviously have the 4-door Mojave hard body running on it, and he's got some custom cage work that he's running in the rear, but he actually took it off to eliminate that kind of weight up high. Does have the metal axle or metal bumpers in the front and the back. He does have metal axles. They're the GRC G2 axles. He's got brass portal covers, overdrive and underdrive. He's got the in the works TRX4 skid and motor mount. That's the kind of motor flip kit. The inner works links, so he's got those raised rear links, and he's got the Bauhaus battery tray, and he's got more parts than that and many more than I could list in this video. It would take up the whole video, but if you're interested in learning more about that, like I said, I'll put a link to that last live video up in the corner so that it's easy for you to get to. But this was an incredible run. Now, if you remember last week's video, you will remember my box stock, essentially, TF2 Marlin crawler running through this course, and boy, did I get I got my ass handed to me a little bit. I didn't do absolutely terribly. I did take like 20 minutes, so there was that. And I certainly didn't do particularly well, particularly in these spots like the steep side hills, descents, and ascents, as you'll remember from the start of that video where we totally ate it right at the very beginning. That was fun. But this guy, this is actually a real performer. It's crazy that this is a Class 1 rig and it can do all the things that it can do. It is very, very impressive. That gate right there, that was a brutal gate in the TF2 where I ended up having to winch through, and T just absolutely walked it. You can see the articulation with the setup that he's got going on here. This is still the stock TRX4 shocks. It's just he's got some modifications done to him, the low C spring mod. If you want to learn more about that, go check out that longer video that we have as the breakdown of his truck. But just the way that this thing performs on the ascents and descents, and on that really kind of gnarly terrain where you start to notice the articulation of the truck more, it's definitely worth paying attention to what this guy's doing, because he's got a setup that's working well. He is a bit he's in like scarecrow mode right now. You can see he took the wide line through that field. Not really sure what the plan was there, but he ends up cutting his way back and making his way onto this rock structure the same way that I did in the Marlin. Now here is kind of basically where we left off on the Marlin footage, and this course doesn't get any easier from where it starts, really. It continues being quite difficult. This section here, I like this ledge setup. Really, on a Class 2 course, this wouldn't be much to talk about, and you can see how thin these gates are for the Class 1 comp. We were questioning whether or not these were full-size gates, and I still have my questions, but I think we were close enough to count it, especially because we're not using actual gates. Pretty hard to tell whether or not a competitor really hit the gate, so you're going off of your better judgment, and so I don't mind having a slightly thinner gate when, you know, it's more of a judgment rule. He's going to take the reverse there because you can see, like I was saying, that wouldn't be a big steep incline for a Class 2 truck necessarily. You really could work your way up on either side of this rock ledge, but for a Class 1 comp, this is a nasty obstacle. You really have to line yourself up well for it. You have to be able to figure out your way onto that first ledge in a way where you can push the front end through these gates, being as thin as they are without touching them, and then make your way up the second ledge. Now you can see having a little bit of a traction issue. I had the same kind of issue going on here with the Marlin, but he ends up hooking up and making his way through. Now, this is basically like a 9-ish pound rig, so it's not a light rig by any means. So definitely hooking up and making easy work of this red rock. It's quite impressive. Now here, this section, the camera again never does it justice. You're basically on like a 15-ish, I want to say maybe 15 to 18 foot cliff on your right hand side here, and you're just working your way along the cliff, trying to keep as mild of a side hill as you can for yourself without getting too close to the ledge where you start sliding over. You can see I kind of show the ledge there for just a second. Now here's where T decides he doesn't want to be a scarecrow anymore, and I give him the good grace to clear out some of the grass in his truck without counting it as anything. Figured that was kind of fair, you know. I mean, maybe not, because it was his decision to drive through the grass, so in a way he should probably suffer the consequences of that. But at the same time, this isn't really actually adjusting anything mechanically or touching your rig beyond just kind of pressing your fingers against it for no apparent reason. Seems like it's no big deal to me, but I don't know. Call my bullshit if you think that he should have had some sort of penalty for that. Now, this gate was a nasty one. Really, the trick here is staying high on the driver's side. Now, it doesn't look like you should be able to, but if you can just kind of press your tires into that ledge, as you can see you just did, it will give you the grip that you need to get up and over that little V-notch. Nothing too crazy, but again, on a Class 1, this is definitely some intense driving. Now this here, again, the camera not doing it justice, like a good 12 to 15 foot drop right there that you're subject to if you screw that one up, and you've got to pass this giant chasm there. And again, this is the articulation on this truck, making it look like a piece of cake. Also the clearance, quite impressive clearance for a Class 1 truck, really stretching the limits of clearance there, and the metal bumpers smooth or slide nice and smoothly over all the rocks, so not much to worry about there. Now, making our way into the final gate, this is where I literally just had to pin it in the Marlin and hope for the best, and you can really start to see just how impressive this TRX4 Class 1 build is through this finish line move, where it's just a super gnarly descent, and finishes with a 6:33.08 and a +4, a very, very impressive Class 1 run. As I said, I'm not going to be able to do it justice in this video, just all of the different things that T has done to make this rig run as well as it does. If you want to learn more about it in long form, we do a live stream every Sunday, or at least most Sundays. We do a live stream, and we get into a lot of technical analysis, or we talk a lot about other subjects in more depth, which I quite enjoy, and it seems that other people enjoy as well. So tune in every Sunday. It's 12 Mountain Standard Time if you're interested in joining us live. You can ask us questions in chat and kind of keep the thought-provoking conversation going. Otherwise, you can always catch those live videos. I keep them saved on the channel under the live tab of the channel, so you can watch them back after they are over. That's all I've got for you this time, guys. Like I said, I will link that video somewhere so that you can take a look at it and learn more about it in long form if you're interested in learning more about this truck. I thought it was a quite impressive performance. I thought that maybe I could share it with you guys and you'd learn a thing or two either about... Ooh, wow, gotta slow down a little bit. Either about how to set up your Class 1 rig, or about how to run through a Class 1 course, because this was quite a gnarly course, and to get through it with just a +4. By the way, I forgot to mention, we didn't set up any bonuses on this Class 1 because, and this gets into how we set up the rest of it, but because we had 3 bonuses after day 10 on Class 3, we kind of figured we'd balance it out by not having those bonuses down low in Class 1, which honestly, I kind of wish that there were bonuses on this course, but I understood the logic behind it, and you know, we can always try doing bonuses on this course in the future. But hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. You made it to the end of the video, so I very much appreciate that. In the links in the description, all the links, there's links to High Noon Hobby merch, there's links to T terrible. There's links to T from Slut Crawlers down below. I'll even link to his website that I helped with to start, you know, really getting the Slut Crawlers a little bit more known, a little bit more traction, and not that I'm really doing anything to help them be more known, but at least to get more traction and more ability to sell cool merch, which they are doing. So go ahead and check that out in the description down below as well. Okay, that's all I can think of. I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you tune in next time. I'm not sure if there's going to be a live video this Sunday. I will keep you guys tuned in on that one, so watch for, you know, posts and such where I talk about where we're going, because we may be headed to Wendover for the Silver State 200 hosted by 801 RCC Adventures, Builds and Adventures. I love that event. I went out to that event last year and I had a really good time with it, but I am kind of sick and it's going to be like 30 degrees, so we'll see if my health can be better by Saturday, because today's not Saturday. So if it's better by then I'm going to be there. Otherwise, I won't be there, and I might be able to better fit in the live stream. Either way, we might make the live stream happen. I'm just not sure what's happening this weekend. So when I find out more, I'll let you guys know. Until then, enjoy some scale trailing or some hard lines, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.